Dag dames en heren, daar zijn we weer. Wat leuk dat jullie er allemaal zijn. Ik vraag me af of er nu eigenlijk al mensen meekijken, maar ik beslis met nog, nou, volgens mij loopt die niet, nee die loopt niet gelijk, maar met nog een paar minuten op de klok om al live te gaan. Kijk, ja, daar zijn de eerste mensen en ik zie meteen, ik eens even kijken, een heel erg belangrijke uitnodiging, want Lily, die nodigt mij uit om mee te doen aan dit gesprek. En dat is natuurlijk helemaal de bedoeling. Ja, wat leuk. Hi guys, can you hear me?
Hi, you're kind of quiet.
I'm quiet? No. You really?
The sound is low.
Oh, huh? The sound is low. What? Now? Can you hear me now?
Well, we can hear you, but it's just very faint.
Volume. Am I still with my audio? It's not working correctly?
Maybe it's your headphones.
Wow.
You probably hear an amazing
I'm
song.
gonna reconnect. Like this. And now, how do you like me now?
Yeah,
Still the same, but when you got closer to the screen, we heard you better.
No. What's this? This thing is not working. No, I hear you loud and clear. How's the audio right now?
I think we'll manage.
We'll manage?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I hear you fine. I see suits on doves. No, thank you.
Hey,
yeah,
I
hope
yeah, my friend from the US and my mom joined.
Oh,
hey.
Wow. Say hi to your mom. Hi, how are you?
Hey, Mom.
Yes.
Hey, Steven.
Cool. We're all connected.
Yes.
So I'm going to start off in Dutch a little bit. And then because of you, Lily, we'll be doing this thing in English. Maar ik ga nu verder heel even in Nederlands dus. Dames en heren, leuk dat jullie er zijn. Inderdaad, ze zitten er al, Bruno Setola en Lily Higgins. We gaan zo direct uitvoerig met ze praten, maar niet voordat ik jullie er toch even op wil wijzen. Jullie kunnen nog altijd gaan naar www.raumderlusten.nl. Daar ga je naar die online omgeving van deze tentoonstelling, die nog tot 29 augustus hier is, op het Berlijnplein hier in Utrecht. En dan kan je met je avatar dus rondlopen. Ik heb het vandaag nog eventjes gedaan. Er lopen echt nog andere figuurtjes rond. Je kan proberen met ze te chatten. Mij is het nog niet. Ik heb nog geen reactie gekregen, maar het is echt superleuk om zo de expositie een beetje te bekijken. Kom vooral ook live dit allemaal bezichtigen hier, want het is een prachtige tentoonstelling en doe lekker mee. Kijk ook even verder op de agenda, want natuurlijk heb je Common Ground, de moestuin voor Common Ground, die nog altijd bezig is om de week, iedere woensdag. Er valt de yoga, er is hier boksen. De Bommerbiels ging vorige week niet door vanwege het slechte weer. Volgens mij zijn we aan het kijken voor een nieuwe datum. Jullie zullen het weten of jullie al zijn ingelicht, maar daar wordt ook naar gekeken. Er komen weer nieuwe Bommerbiels momenten aan, voorstellingen. Performances in juli. Er is een grote workshop komt eraan. Die kost volgens mij €45 per persoon bij Field Architecture. Met cartografie en van alles. Nou, zoek dat ook even uit. Ga naar de website. En volgende week heb ik weer een Insta live. Maar op dit moment zit ik hier met Lily Higgins en Bruno Setola. And the first thing that I want to ask you, could you introduce yourself a little bit? Like, who are you guys and how did it came to be? Your, how do you say it? Samenwerking. Bruno, jij bent Nederlands, hè? Collaborations. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, hi, I'm Lily Higgins.
I'm Bruno Setola.
And I am a facilitator, experience designer, game designer, futurist, multi-hyphenate life. I do many things. And I've been working together with Bruno Setola for almost 4 or 5 years now, actually. I started out as his student in gamification, and we really quickly realized that we were really good collaborators. And so since the 4 years that I've been out of school, we've still been working together and enjoying our collaboration.
Okay, so because you, Lily, you say you were a student of his?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you, how did it?
At the Willem de Koning Academie.
Oh, all right.
I studied social design and I did a minor in gamification, and Bruno was the leader of the gamification department.
Okay.
And I finally discovered that department in my 4th and final year of school, much too late. But it really like changed my whole career trajectory in a way. Yeah, and now I'm still working with applied playing games.
Because you decided to go and work really with Bruno, because he already founded something in 2011 called Play Space. 2011, right? Can you tell us a little bit about it, Bruno, and tell me who you are?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Okay. So my name is Bruno Setola. I like to call myself game thinker. That means that I look at everything around me as if it's a game and then see how it can be more fair, more fun, more engaging.
Yeah.
And basically, yeah, I guess my mission is to reimagine the rules of the game, of the way we live, of the way we learn, and of the way we work together. And I started out about 10 years ago getting into gamification, as it was called then.
Yeah.
Now I don't use that terms anymore. I use game thinking now as my own way of looking at it, meaning that I'm not so much interested in make something look like a game,
yeah.
But to actually look at the core system, the underlying interactions, and then borrow ideas from games that can make those interactions much more engaging, more better.
Okay. Maybe it's best just to go towards what did you do for RAUM right now? Like over here, what did you make? I mean, it's the RAUM Urban Play Walk. What is it, and how does it work?
Yeah, the Urban Play Walk we developed for RAUM is part of a bigger project of ours, which we founded 2 years ago in Rotterdam, where we're both right now, where we live. And we wanted to create an event, a workshop. It's actually kind of a guided tour through the city for adults to experience the city in a more playful way and to design site-specific games that play with the norms and the rules of public space. So we've been doing these events for the last 2 years, and one of the curators of RAUM, Tom, he reached out to me and asked, hey, could you maybe translate this concept to our show at RAUM? So yeah, we thought about how we could make urban play walks a bit more corona friendly instead of gathering groups of people to do this walking tour like we did before. We developed a standalone game which you can play.
Yes.
And the sign that you're showing right now is one of the challenges that's in the game. And if you were to scan the QR code in the bottom corner, you would be taken to actually play the game. And yeah, we would love to do a little demo for you a bit later.
That would be great, but like, take me to Rotterdam first, because I'd like to understand. Like, you're in a group, and then we get taken on a tour. But how does it work? How concrete can you say? Like, what kind of challenges do we get, or assignments?
Yeah, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so they usually are quite long. At least they seem long, but they go by in like that. They're 4 hours long.
What the play walks?
The play walk is 4 hours long, and you basically can see it as a chain of mini games that we come up with, Lily and I, beforehand. Yeah. And they're always unique. So each play walk is a complete unique experience. You have to see, this is, it started out as Lily's passion project, and I immediately saw also the potential to test out crazy game ideas in it. So when we started off, we couldn't help ourselves but really make custom experiences. And then we started out with a couple of people, and word got around, and we now organize it on Meetup. And yeah, it's never like big crowds. It's usually a quite good atmosphere with what is it, 10, 15 people or so. Yeah. And it's usually people that don't know each other. Yeah. And quite often it's new people. And so it's very interesting to see how these, let's say, people that don't know each other really connect during the play walks, of course in a very playful way. Yeah. And more or less we always build in a theme, a topic that has to do, with urban life. And so sometimes it's very playful, and it's, for instance, all about bridges, in the literal way, like we pass all the bridges in Rotterdam, well, the main ones. But it can also be, metaphorical bridges that we talk about. And so each of the exercises, it then fits in with that theme.
Okay. So right now you are outside of your studio, Bruno, and you're able to show us something like how it works for you, how you do it. Yeah, I see a little doubt.
We can show you the app. Now, the thing is, it's meant for two people to play together, right?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. But since we're just now two and we have nobody to film it, we'll just, take turns doing some. Now, as you can see here, you see these two traffic signs, right?
Yes.
And when you're together, there's one person that will pick the challenge, and then the both of you do it, and then the next turn the other one picks the challenge, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And we made sure that the challenges are always varied. So that means there's always a challenge that has to do with interaction with other people, but there's also always a challenge that's more focused on space and objects. Yeah. So that if people feel very awkward about interacting with people, they can choose the other kind of challenge. Yeah. But of course, the other one can then force the other player to actually do more of interaction. So there is always a choice to choose your challenge. And then when you do it, because the app refreshes them all the time, you never get to play the same challenge again.
Bruno, one thing, you say it's an app, but it's how do you call it? It's a browser where you go to, right? And it's all designed within a browser.
So you go to raum.urbanplaywalks.com.
Yeah.
You don't have to download anything.
Yeah, no download, no registration, no money, no
no money. No, we don't want your money. Yeah, maybe your opinion, right? Maybe your opinion.
No, this is our, this is our gift, or you could say RAUM's gift, to mankind, right?
Yeah, But you can do it anywhere. You can do it anywhere. That's a nice thing.
You can do it anywhere. Yes. So we said it, urban playwalk, but even if you're in a village, 90% of these challenges will work.
Because this is also like walk as slowly as possible. I could do this right now with my companion and then challenge each other and see how people react, how you experience the city all over again.
Yeah. And maybe it's a nice anecdote to tell you that we did a big version of this one. So sometimes they're borrowed from earlier playwalks that we did. Yeah. We walked as slowly as we could with 30 people from one end to the other end of the central station in Rotterdam. You cannot imagine how odd that was, because it's a place where the norm is to run and to be in a hurry.
Oh, man.
So even security was alerted by people that went to the kiosk saying there's people walking slow in the station.
What are they doing? What are they up to in our modern society? Did you get like elbow bumps? Like get out of the way, man.
Walking so slowly.
And not like a wall. Our rule was no talking, but also we're not being in the way, no blocking anybody, but just walking really slowly. I mean, I was passed by really old ladies, so you can imagine how slow.
We were actually walking so slowly that we couldn't get in anyone's way because people could so easily move around us that we were almost like a rock in the stream.
It took us 45 minutes to get from one end to the other.
And
train station.
It's almost sound dangerous. Kind of like you're really how do you call it, obstructing our normal our conventions.
In a way.
And this one, this one. I mean, I have no problem whatsoever to do this right here, of course. But we are in an I hope the phone doesn't fall. But right now we are in an exhibition place. So this is, I mean, people would expect it right here, but I guess a little bit. But where you are you going to do something right now?
Yeah, okay, we're gonna hit the street. So right now we are actually in a playground.
Oh, great! Let's see.
But this is often where we start our play walks in a kind of safe play space.
Yeah.
To get people like more comfortable in sort of getting used to this idea of being an adult and starting to play.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna walk out this door and get into the real world.
into the real
You can
world.
hear the sirens. We're approaching the real world.
I love this.
By the way, it's interesting to say maybe that in the game it levels up. Right? Like any good game, you start with something easy, then it gets a bit harder, and then it gets really out of your comfort zone, and then it ends with celebrationary interactions. So it's not just straight out of your comfort zone from the start.
Okay. I just want to say to the viewers, if you have any questions, just ask them. Maybe we could flow them in, and otherwise we'll try to do it at the end. But if you have questions, think about it already, and then you could put it. You can drop those questions.
Yes.
So let's go. Yeah.
So let's go this way. I'm gonna switch the camera. I'm gonna film Bruno doing the first challenge.
Okay, I can choose between tie each other's shoelaces together, so that will be a bit hard to show you now. So the other one is stumble and stagger exaggeratedly, like you're under the influence. So, you know, like high or drunk.
Yeah.
Pretending.
Yeah.
Because you're not Bruno, right? Oh my God! Get this man under arrest.
Yes. Well, it's very convincing. It's very convincing. Yeah. Yes.
No, Bruno.
Are there other people?
I want to play
Are there people there? Yeah, I see it. Yeah, but are other people there around? Because I can imagine the more people, like in Central Station Rotterdam, the more people you have around you, the more impact it has. And
yes,
right.
We're walking towards a busier street than Nieuwe Binnenweg in Rotterdam, if anyone is familiar. But Bruno is gonna give me the next challenge.
Okay, so you can choose either smell objects in the street and describe them to each other, or walk in a straight line as long as possible and figure out to pass through things that cannot be passed through. Maybe.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do the smell and describe. So I'm gonna give this to you.
Yeah. All right. So.
Okay,
all right.
Well, tell me the scent.
Metal.
I cannot hear you, Lily. What does it smell like?
It smells like really like metal and like paint and dirt and kind of like a
Right.
maybe this almost smells like a flower. It's like kind of sweet. No, but maybe I'm smelling particular here also as well. It's sort of like disrupting the flower.
Oh yeah, Bruno, please do film the people that are watching. That's so it's so nice to see their reaction.
This smells like, I don't know, like dust and kind of like
what is it?
Smell, actually.
That's all.
I think this one needs a bit more explanation because I'm curious what the people passing by will think.
Yeah, but Bruno, what I'd like to say, and Lily, what I'd like to say to you, like, I mean, I feel instantly, and it's also because we have a camera, but also without, I guess, you are instantly attracted to the reactions of the public outside you. But I'm also interested at what happens within yourself and the scent, the smell you're really experiencing, and the words that you can give to describe them. So. It's on both, you know, it's inner and out. That's what I feel like. It says it works. Really, that's what I think.
Let's switch the camera back so we can be together again. So the question you were asking is what happens within us, right?
Yes.
When we do this, it's like a complete change of, like, it's hard to describe, but it's a complete change of the way that you see the world. And if you really sort of throw yourself into the challenges, I'm like, I smelled too, I'm gonna sneeze, smelled too much on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a really, I guess I could say it feels almost like this childhood curiosity again, but I hesitate to use that word childlike because I don't think that play always needs to be like connected with being a child.
Yeah.
Now someone's answering their door because we're like shouting in front of their doorway.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just makes me feel very present in the city, and like I'm really a part of the city, and not just sort of walking from A to B and not really seeing my surroundings. And yeah,
no, you're a part of it, and also you reinventing it or re-experiencing it like you haven't done before. That's what I feel as an observer. Oh, Bruno, yeah, of course, sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that we also included this in the app, the introduction, a little audio fragment where we explain that when you do this, you have to understand that you are stepping into this sort of magic circle.
Yeah, I
right?
saw this. Yeah, right. Yes.
Well, it's called the tovercirkel, but anyway. So this is the idea that once you do that, you basically agree that other rules apply than in real life. And once you do that, you start really getting immersed into it to the degree, especially if you're together, not if you're alone, but if you're together and with a group even more, you suddenly are walking around in a bubble and no longer see the world the way it is. And that really also makes you react in a completely different way to people. Normally you would get very nervous to do something out of the norm. But you're sort of protected by this invisible shield together. Basically, the trust that you have together that you won't be laughed at by each other, and that makes you quite, brave and playful.
Yeah, and could you take us a little bit like us within how did you design this? Because I could imagine you have rules in games. You have a set of rules that like a timeline is something that is needed, and a challenge and. How did it work? How did you design it? The process.
Well, our design process is always starts on the street, and that's a really important part of how we work with urban games. Is that we don't sit in our studio or behind our desk and design things that we're going to do in the street. We actually go out in the street and we prototype in the moment, in the surroundings. So we find inspiration directly from the things that we encounter in that moment, and by actually walking through the city.
Yeah, and how many challenges or assignments, opdrachten did you at first drafts? How many did you had?
I think we have about 80.
You had right 80 now, or you had before?
Yeah, there's now 80 in there.
Yeah, in the game there's 80 assignments.
Yeah.
Each round of the game. Whether you play the short version or the long version, you'll get maybe, I think it's between 10 and 20 in one round, in one game. Yeah. So there's a really high replay value because even if you play the game a couple of times, you'll still be presented with new challenges because they're all programmed in there. And you'll get new ones the next time you play.
Yeah, but then you had like 80. But I can imagine that making this play walk, you started off with maybe over 100, and then some of the challenges just didn't fit. Can you take me through that process? How does it work? Do you feel like, hey, this isn't working this is only working in this kind of surrounding and couldn't work somewhere else, or this is not saying or how do you call it, like onderzoekt what we want to explore?
Yeah, well, we started out really like not like in any creative process, sort of not judging our ideas too harshly at the beginning, and just like brain dump, like, okay, any weird rule, any funny thing I can think of, putting that down in our collection of rules.
Yeah.
And then we did several test plays with the two of us and with people we know. And there are some that just, when you play them, you're like, that's actually not that fun. Or we also we made a kind of criteria for how to, which rules are the most interesting. And the criteria was all about rules that actually, or prompts or challenges, however you want to call them in the app, that challenge a social norm, an existing social norm, or an existing norm about public space. So it's not just like fun things for the fun of it. It's actually things that kind of subversively go against unspoken rules that we live by in cities.
Yeah. I think, because I'm looking at the time, I think we can almost wrap it up. But I'd like to see, are there any viewers that have questions right now? I think would be the time to ask. No, let's see. I don't see any right now, but maybe might come up. I have this question for you. Like, if you could design, you have this street that you could design, or like this, or a park, and you could design your own way, as an alternative to the public space, just as RAUM der Lusten is. How would you, how would you design it? Do you have a feeling?
How would we design a public space?
Yeah.
Well, I think I would go for something similar to an adventure playground.
Mm-hmm.
An adventure playground is a playground that is very, well, it started like post-war Europe, and all of these abandoned lots where children would go and play with like just like dirt and bricks and things that were just left there, like in construction or after the bombing.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered what an adventure playground would look like for adults. Like, I want a place in the city where where free play can kind of happen, and where there's like materials there that inspire me to kind of either make something or invent a game or have an interesting kind of gathering.
Yeah.
But that's not so like scripted or designed as like a park or a playground or these formats that we're very familiar with, of like where we actually spend our time, our leisure time as adults.
Yeah. Hey, and Bruno, also for you, same?
Yeah, well, there's this quote from Kars Alfring, Dutch designer who used to design for play, and he says, when you design for play, underspecify. That means don't be so specific about the kind of functionality that something should have. So that's my struggle usually with playgrounds. They're designed to do only one thing, to either swing or slide, or the 4 S's that was invented in America in the 50s, if I remember: the swing, the slide, the sand pit, and what was the other one? Anyway, the seesaw. So they do only one thing, and also very passively. You sit on it, and it happens to you. It's not really very interactive in that sense. That it's more like a they can put a battery in and it just operates.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to make an environment, playground, or a city that really invites people to play, then you should make something that makes them wonder, what is this? What could it be? And that really triggers their imagination. And so, in a sense, that's what we do. We figured a while ago that instead of building an actual playground in the city, it's maybe better to see the city as a playground, potentially, but then really see everything as a trigger for play. So like we said, we imagine these play walks while we walk. We can't do it behind the desk. And then it's almost like, I'm a big fan of, what's his name? The comedian, Jerry, what's his name?
Seinfeld?
Jerry Seinfeld. And for me, the secret sauce of his jokes is that he always seems to start with what's up with airplanes, what's up with dogs, what's up with, and then takes it to the extreme. He looks at something very normal, and something extraordinary, and then builds on top of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we do. So we looked, for instance, at a window, a shop window.
Yeah.
And there was some objects there. So we kind of ask this question, what's up with shop windows? And then we say, well, there's all these objects. Are they supposed to be read out loud? So then one of the assignments in the app is, say out loud everything you see in the shop window, because apparently it needs to be seen and be spoken out and whatever. And so that's what we do. So, a shop window isn't something really special. It's not a slide. It doesn't do anything funny.
And it's not a playground.
But
it's
looking
not
at it as something extraordinary, suddenly you're in this other dimension.
Yeah.
It's really about the mindset.
Mindset and imagination is also what I hear a lot. Like, use your imagination, activate, make sure that you are actively engaging in the thing that you are inviting somebody to play with, but then use your abilities.
We always say, like, to become an active player in the game, we call this video.
Cool. It's really cool. I saw one question. I think it's from Tom. What if you were the mayor from Utrecht? Wow, that's the last question. Yeah, that's a big question. Yeah. What if? Tomorrow, Domstad.
Have a department of play at least.
Hey, the department of gamification, right? Like you do, Bruno, for hogeschool, you did, right?
Let's call it play.
Play. Okay, play.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, well, I think we can wrap up. I'm very thankful for your time. Thank you. Can you say it again? Because you go to raum.urbanplaywalks.com. Is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And then people can do this game, can interact everywhere, can use this urban playwalk, can do it everywhere. That's yes.
Yeah, we hope you play, and we'd love to see how you played the game. There's a little moment for feedback at the end, where you can either leave us a little film message or a voice note of what was the most exciting thing that you encountered on your walk. And yeah, we look at those, we really do. So. Oh,
by the way, maybe it's interesting to mention that it has been. We looked at the stats, so 800 people have opened it up and interacted with it so far, so it's not too bad. That's
not too bad, but it could be more. So please invite also other people and tell this around. I'm gonna switch just for a minute to Dutch, and then I'll thank you and we'll wave goodbye. But ja, dames en heren, ja, ik zit hier dus tegenover de Schottenkate, by the way. Maar hier eindigen we dus het gesprek met Lily en Bruno. Ik ben hartstikke dankbaar. Ik vind het heel erg inspirerend om dit allemaal te horen. Hopelijk jullie ook. De link wordt hier ook beneden nog in Insta gedropt. Ik wil nog even zeggen, kom echt naar RAUM de Lusten, want het is zeer, zeer, zeer de moeite waard. Dus zorg dat je hier tot 29 augustus nog ergens een moment vindt om hier mee te doen. Maar ga die Urban Playwalk ook thuis doen, net als dat je naar raumdelusten.nl kan gaan om thuis de tentoonstelling te zien. Kijk naar de agenda om te zien wat er allemaal nog meer plaatsvindt hier en meld je aan. En voor nu wens ik je nog een hele fijne donderdag. En ik zeg nogmaals, a very big thank you to Bruno Setola and Lily Higgins. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for going out on the streets. And I hope you on the way back, you'll be doing some things.
Some play walking, yeah. We're going to play walk back to the studio.
Would be great. Yeah, great. Hey, thank you so much.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Dankjewel. Hey, bye. Dankjewel. Bye. Dag iedereen. Hoi hoi.